What if I told you that your overthinking is actually your brain trying to keep you safe by asking the wrong questions? In neuroscience, it's called instinctive elaboration. When someone is asking us a question, our brain can't help but actually look for the solution. That's why parents are telling their kids, don't talk to strangers, because strangers are asking them questions and kids can't help but actually give them the honest answer without actually having awareness of what is the other person going to do with the information, right? What is their intention? So they don't have this shield to question what is the intention of the question. They are not predicting that, this person might ask me this question because it can do harm or use this information in a certain way, right? Even when we are getting to be adults, when we are engaged, we are hooked with questions by media, like you have this event happening in the world. What does it mean to your life? That's when you start engaging with the question, right? How it's going to impact your life. You might not realize you don't have control to change it. So the question that can be helpful in these situations, like, is there something that I can do? Would I do something differently in my own life? So instinctive elaboration is when we take questions and we are looking for answers. So for example, if you are asking what is wrong with me, your brain is going to provide you with answers with what is wrong with you, because the mind is working with what you are providing. So that's where awareness plays a huge role when we are asking, what kind of questions are you asking? So if you just watch this video and you watch it until now, just pay attention in a conversation when you're doing something, when you're overthinking, like, what kind of question am I trying to answer here, right? Because if you try to, why did they did what they did? You don't care actually why they said what they said. What our mind cares the most is to keep us safe and to predict future where you are safe, what is going to happen next. When we try to go to past events to find the cause, is just because we want to find a way to build better predictions for the future. So another part where we're actually engaging with questions like selective attention, we have, like, if you ask a question, where is my friend in the crowd that is wearing a red jacket, your mind is going to delete all the green jackets or the black jackets and is going to look for the red jacket or the specific clues that are going to show you where is your friend in the crowd. And therefore, if you're looking, who can help me find a solution to this problem? Where can I find the information that is going to help me move forward? The kind of question is going to determine if you are gaining clarity, because with clarity, we move into action with more ease, right? On the other side, you know that you're overthinking when you don't actually take any action, right? You are just digging more and more, but you're not actually getting anywhere. Taking action and testing them against reality. We have to test them against reality. Otherwise, they are just scenarios in our own mind. And the more we stay with it, the more we are going to fabricate even more. You can always learn by actually taking the action instead of imagining all the scenarios up front. Let's take a practical example. For example, one of the things that I've struggled with was overthinking at night. I was feeling like I have like 100 tabs open in my mind. Did I send that thing to the client? I remember that thing I should have done. Maybe I forgot that thing. All the task responsibilities, I was just keeping them like, don't forget that, don't forget the other thing to do. That leads to overwhelm, because literally you cannot focus on 100 tabs at the same time, because your mind is like having 100 questions open. So they're just all running and it's just too much pressure on your mind. The process here, you have to write them down, because that gives closure, because you've been taken care of them. So you take a note and you write them on your phone, you write them on a notebook, because it tells your mind you're going to take care of it later. And at the same time, just keep one question open. Like, for example, what is one thing that I can work on tomorrow or achieve tomorrow? I'll say that it was a successful day. Therefore, you give your mind something to work on. So therefore, at night, it still works, but you're keeping it focused on only one tab. Another one on overthinking is overthinking tasks, conversations, and events. Feel like you did something wrong. Maybe you said the wrong things. And I said, like, what is something that I can learn from this? What I've learned was like define better process, how I want the communication to happen, because there definitely was some miscommunication happening. And I'm focusing on the future because I'm not going to be able to actually go back in the past and correct all the things, because that's it. The decision was made. Therefore, I focus on the things that I can control. What is someone that I want? How do I want them to be? Because this is what your mind wants to feel good in the future. Overthinking decisions, right? Like fearful that you're going to make the wrong choice. We focus on what we are going to lose with respect, love, money. The more we focus on what we are going to lose, the harder it is to actually make a decision. But then the question it is like doing the thing, what is it going to bring you? Or not doing the thing, what is going to bring you? So for example, one decision that it was like really stressful and we were like overthinking. We were like in the process of buying a villas in Bali. There was an agreement we made at a certain exchange rate from dollars to rupiah. Then over the month, they had to do the paperwork and check everything. And by the end of the month, the dollar went really down. So we were like losing, right? Like every day we were like checking what's the exchange rate. And we were like 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. We had to pay more just because of this difference. It was like, this is crazy. This is insane. If we think like that, should we change today? What if it goes even lower? What I did was my husband, you make a decision. How do you want us to do it? And I said, when I know the papers are all fixed and we are ready to sign the contract, that's when we are going to make the exchange, because the decision is, I don't want to make the decision of exchanging out of fear. I want to make decision from a place that this is something I invest in. This is growth step for us. And I want to do it from this place, right? So we had to look fear in the eyes and really say, we will do it anyway, right? We want to do this thing. And luckily on the day that we had to sign the contract and exchange, the dollar went up and we got like fair enough exchange rate. Because the question is like, if we fail, where's that can happen is like, is it going to be so bad? Are we going to be ruined? Are we going to go bankrupt, lose our safety, right? Because this is actually the scenarios, right, that are built. Therefore, when you realize, okay, I can make the decision and nothing as bad is going to happen. Like I can handle what is it going to come. So in the end, your mind is not your enemy. Oh my God, I cannot stop all this thinking happening in my mind. And it's true, right? In the end, it's like what I want you to take away from this. What kind of questions am I engaged with? If we pay attention with questions that we're trying to answer, are you going to be safe enough? Is something that you can do that is in your control? Is it going to help you grow by giving your time and energy? So choose a thriving question. Choose questions that are actually in your control, that are moving you into action, because the more we are able to take a small action that feels safe enough for us, the faster we actually take feedback from real world and then readjust and then make another prediction, a better one. So hope this was helpful. I will go and check on my kid, and this rain is heavy. I will show you some pictures, take a footage. Take care.